thanks for doing this, Matt. We've just been through your roadmap and things. Obviously, in your situation, we kind of built a plan, and then your circumstances have changed somewhat in the time in which, like, since we first built that. So we're currently going through the process of building a new one, right? Which is kind of one of the things I wanted to ensure was available to members, is that it's not like a one and done, see you later kind of situation. Like, this is you're in the academy for 12 months, you get access to me for any kind of chops and changes, because obviously life is bumpy, things change, and I want to help you kind of learn how to pivot on your plan to kind of do that. But what I'd love to hear about is just kind of what kind of situation you were in, like, before you joined, and kind of the reasons for wanting to kind of enter the program.
Yeah, I think the whole idea of me joining, I've read a lot of information about budgeting, finance, how to take control of your finances, and for all the theory, it's great, but until you actually get the tools to apply it, you're sort of forever swimming against the tide. So what drew me to this was the initial chat that we had, where you could, really clearly lay out how you would help me, how you'd support me, how you'd provide me with the tools to actually take control of my destiny, if you want. Finance has always been something that I've struggled with. You're not really taught it too much at school in terms of, being the master of your own destiny. So the tools you provided, the budgeting tools, the fact that you can then track your net worth and everything that you went through so clearly in the initial steps, gave me a lot of confidence to understand where I'm at, lay out a clear plan of how I want to move forward and get to the goals I want to achieve. But most importantly, the skills and the tools that I can use from day one till the end of my days, that will help me maintain and keep a tight handle on where I'm at, what I'm spending, what I'm bringing in, so that I don't ever get in the situation I found myself where I had a lot of debt, and I was struggling to see a light at the end of the tunnel.
Love that. Wow, that's awesome. I'm really glad to hear it. So when it came to, obviously, when you joined, you initially had some debts that you wanted to get rid of, and now you're debt free, right?
Correct. Yeah, it's all gone.
Perfect. Amazing. So did you feel like were the tools and everything kind of helpful towards, like, building a plan to make that happen, or was that something you kind of already had under control anyway?
No, so the program was really helpful because it gave me such a clear view on what my outgoings were, accounting for every single one of them, as you say, making every pound work for you, and then I know exactly what I've got left. Or if I haven't got anything left, I know exactly where I can start to trim away, and the areas that I can make cuts and gains quickly, so that I start to build up that that free cash flow that I can then use towards paying off my debts and paying off my maybe interest payments, so I can get rid of debt quicker. So after the budgeting chat, really, and the first phase of that, the academy, it massively helped me understand exactly where I'm at, what my outgoings were, identify areas that I could cut back and expand my free cash flow, and then put that to use, so that as soon as I was paid, I knew that needed to go out. And then when you see that final figure go, and you're that massive weight's off your shoulders, and you're looking forward to putting that money to work for you now, as opposed to paying someone else's money for them. So you're not now incumbent to anybody else. You're the master of your own destiny, which I think is what anybody wants to be in their life, in terms of money, and have control over where they go and what they spend on.
Love that. Yeah, definitely. Amazing. I mean, yeah, I'm glad it's helped. The debt payoff tool has been a game changer for a lot of people now. So yeah, I'm glad it's really helped you. So what would you? I'm interested to hear kind of about kind of the program more generally. Like, do you feel like the other aspects of it are helpful? Obviously, we have, like, the one-to-one, but, like, the video course and the group coaching calls, and the recordings and things like that. Do you feel like everything's kind of, is there anything kind of missing that you would, like, want to add to it at all, or do you feel like it's kind of helping to get you where you want to be?
The whole Discord group's really good, because these sorts of things are so much more powerful if you're part of a community. It's not as much as we see each other one-to-one, we speak one-to-one. it's not something, it's not a constant check-in, because you've got a life, I've got a life, and it's not something you can do all the time. So having that group there to check in with, and just the big thing about celebrating each other's wins and putting things in the group that when you hit a milestone. So when I cleared my debt, I put it in there, and several
Mhm.
people messaged back and said how great achievement that was, and it gives you a little boost. And then you're really building that sense of belonging to something, and you want to help other people. The conversations on the video calls are great, because everyone sees things slightly differently, everyone's experiences are slightly different. So to be able to share yours and hear other people's, you realize actually what you're stressing about, what you're worrying about, isn't too dissimilar from a lot of other people. And I think just being able to share it in the first place. So many people live with guilt, and they bottle it all up and they don't share it. And without sharing it, you never make any progress. So the fact there's a growing community now, the program's really kicking on. Seeing new people enter the group every few days, really. It's great to have so many people that want to make positive change, but also want to help other people continue theirs.
100%. Yeah, that's the thing I've found that's really powerful as well. So yeah, I'm glad you're kind of noticing that. But yeah, like you mentioned, a lot of people do feel guilt about their finances, and it kind of discourages them from ever making change, because there's like a sense of shame around it for some reason.
Yeah,
You
the
know, I
stigma.
exactly right. And having once you're in this kind of community, you realize all of these worries that I had, and all of these, these pains that I had because of this situation that I thought I put myself in and was responsible for myself. All of these other people are experiencing the same thing, like, and it's kind of like a really freeing kind of experience, and it's really kind of helping people to go, actually no, I can change this. You've got the same problems as me, and you're making a change, so I can do this too. So I'm really
Yeah.
glad you're finding the same thing. So what would you say then to someone who's like thinking of joining like this academy, for example, and like isn't sure?
It'll be what everyone always says, but I'm not one of those people who sees something, clicks it, and goes, "Yeah, I'm going to do it," because I'm always like, "Is it a scam? Is it
Mm,
is it too good to be true?" And for whatever reason, I watched the video where you actually broke down the budget and spreadsheet, and you outlined exactly what it was about. And I thought, you know what, that looks achievable. So I messaged you. We had our initial call to talk it through, and talk about goals and what I wanted to achieve. And you're very personable, and I believe more in you as a person than necessarily the program. You buy into the people, not necessarily the product. So
mm,
I'm really glad I did, because very early on, the one-to-one call gets you excited, because you start to see there's a different future than you thought maybe there was. Your horizons are expanded and broadened, because you realize there's other ways that you can earn money and make money work for you otherwise, other than just working a 9 to 5, or working the same job for 40, 50 years, which is at times really demoralizing, because you feel trapped in that
mm,
hamster wheel. So being able to recognize that there is more to life than just doing the same job every single day, earning the paycheck and making it do what it needs to do, was really liberating, really inspiring, and quite motivating. So that was really helpful. And then just having access to this online portal whenever I need it, it's completely flexible around me. So I'm probably near the end of it now, but I've done it over 2-3 months, where I've weeks that are busy, I've not been able to access it as much, but the video calls
mm,
are recorded, so I can always watch them back. It's just always there. It's on demand, so you can make it work for you as and when. You've got the accountability of the group checking in. You check in regularly to keep people on track. We've had our second check-in call, because I think a few things in my life have changed. So it's very much been a case of touching base as and when things happen, because life happens, doesn't it? Things change.
mm,
It never goes to plan. But my advice to anybody would be, if you really want to get hold of your money, if you really want to get hold of your future, and making sure that you put yourself in a position where you are financially free, and you give yourself choices and options for the rest of your life, to commit to this program, and take advantage of everything that's on offer.
love that, man. Thank you. I really appreciate that. And is there anything, just kind of more on like a constructive feedback point of view, is there anything that you'd want to change, or that you'd add, or that you feel could be like beneficial to the program?
I mean, the only thing I would probably say, and it's probably not overly feasible because you've got quite a diverse audience, but maybe to have a couple of face-to-face meetups where you can actually, see the
Yeah.
people you're engaging with, and put a face to a username or whatever it may be
Yeah.
on the group. And yeah, that might be later on after the completion of the year in the academy, whatever it may be. But yeah, that'd be really nice just to see people in person and celebrate, going through it all together, I guess.
Definitely something to do in the future, I reckon. Yeah, for sure. When we've got a few people who have graduated, that'd be epic, man. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, yeah, I can't wait to, help you with the next step. Obviously, we've done the debt freedom. We're currently saving for a house. The next piece is building that roadmap to financial freedom once you're in your home and we understand the situation. So yeah, I can't wait to help you keep building and achieving your goals, man. Thank you very much for doing this.
No problem. Absolute pleasure. Thank you for everything you've done. You've changed my life.
Love that.